to refocus ourselves to where God will have us to be.
But what the devil meant for evil, God made it for good.
See, when you hear Holy Spirit, He guides and leads you to where you need to be. And every time, and I am not joking, every time I hear Holy Spirit to go certain places, I find favor. I find favor, and I'm not joking.
Story about a woman with an issue. Had it 12 long years, didn't know what to do. She heard about a man coming through her town. She fell to her knees and crawled on the ground. This is what she said, yo. She said, if I could only touch what can give up his God, I'ma give it all I have. Come on, help me say, yo, this ain't no ordinary word. No, it ain't, no, it ain't, no, it ain't. This ain't no ordinary
I thank my Judah family from coming. Even the ones that had to leave us, you know, they got to go and post. But I just bless God for Believe Worship Center. And Bishop. So we're going to get into the word today. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
All right. No limit worship.
Yes. Come on, Pastor.
No limit. So that means that if it's no limit, why are we limiting God?
Come on.
Why are we limiting our praise? Why are we limiting our worship?
Yes.
So when I was thinking about praise and I was thinking about worship and I was thinking about why we don't know how to worship, because sometimes we may get it confused from praising God.
Right.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of touching about the difference between praise. Praise is a joyful part of God. Worship goes beyond praise. You losing yourself to worship. Did y'all hear what I said?
Yeah.
When you worship God, you lose yourself. So that means that self can't be in the midst of worshiping God.
Right.
So that means that we can't be in a form of fashion and thinking like all pretty. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna give you how I used to be. You know, at one point in time when I was worshiping God, and you know, I had to get some balance with it, and I need you to hear me on this. God will be ministering to me, and I'll be in a car driving, and this is a true story. One time I was on 480 West going towards home, leaving from Maple Church. And I was on the highway, and you know where 480 and 77 interchange right there. I was still going on 480. And the Spirit of God hit me so heavy in worship, I pulled my car over. And I got out the car, and I just lift my hands, and I was praising, and I was worshiping God. And then I got to really worshiping God so hard that the state trooper pulled over to make sure I was okay.
Wow.
And he said, is everything okay? I said, yes. I said, I'm just worshiping God. And he said, okay, just be careful. And what I realized is that even when I made the stop, and even him not even bother me, telling me to go for, you know, to get in my car and go ahead and go, I guess he would rather me stop and park and worship God than me driving, then I have a car accident because I done lost control.
Come on.
But there's an order to God, and there's an order to everything. Even with your worship, it comes with a relationship. So we're going to talk a little bit about in John. Let's go to Romans 12:1 first. Romans 12:1. So I want to just lay a little bit of foundation first. It says so, and I'm going to be in the message. It says, so hear what I want you to do. God's helping you. Take every day, ordinary life. You're sleeping, you're eating, you're going to work, you're working, you're walking around life, and place it before God as an offering. Embrace what God does for you is the best thing that you can do. So let me go back to walking around life and the place before God as an offering. So when we worship God, it's an offering to God. A sacrifice that we should make. Because in King James version, say basically making a sacrifice for God. We should sacrifice our life. That's right. Kill flesh.
Yes.
Get before the Father. So let's go into the King James version. I don't know who has King James version. Can we? Oh, yeah. Put King James up for me. It says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercy of God, that you present your body as a living sacrifice. So remember when I said no self is in the midst of worship. A living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. So when you worshiping God, it's your reasonable service to worship God.
Yes.
Right.
You're not doing a service to God. It's your reasonable. When you honor your pastors, it's your reasonable service to honor your pastors. It's a privilege and an honor to serve them. But listen, I'm going to tell you, when I go to Spirit of Faith, listen, the armor bearers already know. My husband and myself are going to step into being an armor bearer. To be able to serve our pastors is our reasonable service. And you got to be able to know when to step into a place. So even when you're serving them, self is not in the midst. You can't have you in the midst of serving your pastors. A lot of people want to serve the pastor for show. But don't you know there's a bullseye on you whenever you get into this place of servanthood? So listen, it's better for you to stay humble. Trust God and say, okay, God, I'm just here as a servant. I don't care about who knows or sees me. I want to serve beyond measure. That's a place of worship.
Yes. That's right.
It's a place of worship when I can just honor my pastors.
Yes. That's right.
I could be here if apostles say, hey, I need to wipe the wall. Of course, it's my reasonable service to wipe the walls because I am serving my pastor. I am a waitress to my pastor. I am a butler to my pastor. So it's just like how you get on your knees and you worship God, or you worship God this way. You do the same thing to your pastor.
Yes.
Without a show of fashion.
Yes. It's good.
But see, a lot of us get, again, praise and worship mixed up. Worship is beyond the praise. Again, you losing yourself and you worship from your heart.
Yes.
See, the reason why a lot of us can't worship from our heart because our heart got some junk in it.
Come on.
No limit. We got some junk in our heart. We got some backbiting. We got some unforgiveness. We got some fornication. We got some everything that's contrary to the word of God in our heart, and you wonder why you ain't hearing God clearly. You wonder why things ain't going the way that they should be going. You wonder why other people are being blessed and you ain't being blessed. And you think it's God doing it. We quickly to blame God when we don't hear God. But it's up to you to change your battery and your hearing aid. It ain't his responsibility. If we gonna be grown, we gonna be grown. Don't be a baby when you want to be a baby, but then when we talk to you like a baby, then you want to be grown.
Come on. You teach it.
We under construction today. See, we gonna get some order in our worship. But in order for you to get some order in your worship, you gotta have a relationship with God.
Yes, you do.
You gotta get it right with your pastors.
Come on. Come on.
That's good.
That's good.
Oh, you probably say, some of y'all probably say, well, they just men and women. They just like me. If that's the case, why would he put them before you?
Come on.
See, we got our mind all twisted up in what in our thinking. And I know why our minds is messed up because we got construction. You know, we got things that are constricting us, and we got things that's holding us back. And that's why we can't fully praise God like we want to, because we got things that we got things that's holding us back. And you got to be able to say, forget that. I'm coming to worship God at any cost, at all costs, and no matter what people think, I'm going to worship God. And I'm going to serve my pastor until God says different.
Amen. Come on.
I'm going to serve my church until God says different. We got a lot of people in the body of Christ are out of their hookup because they hear things about the pastor.
Come on.
They hear things that, maybe he's doing things that she should be doing, or she's doing things that he want her to do. Whatever it is not your job to tell them what they should be doing. See, there's an order that God has set.
and the body is off the chain. See, the head is the head, and the head orchestrates the body. See, the body can't do nothing until the head instructs it to do.
Right.
That's good. Amen.
But the body want to do its own thing.
Right.
The hand want to be the foot, and the foot want to be the hand.
Right.
Come on, let's get some order.
Amen.
So let's go to John 4:21.
That's good, Pastor.
And while we're getting John 4:21, ask yourself, I got a few questions I want to ask you. When I told you that God's worship isn't selfish, and we need to stop limiting our worship. But the question I have for you is, why do you limit your worship?
Yes, come on, Pastor. That's good.
I'm going to let it sit right there. Because you need to ask yourself that question.
Yeah. Right.
See, prophet and apostle can't get you to where your worship is. That comes with a relationship.
Right.
You got to be able to know your relationship what your relationship is with God.
Yeah.
And another question, is God not God?
Right. Right.
Did he change?
No.
Did his word change?
No.
So what's the problem?
Come on. Right. Yeah. It's good.
We're limiting God. We're limiting our lives. That's why a lot of people stay in these slum jobs, because you're limiting your life.
Yeah.
And when your pastor say, hey, you need to sow, hey, you need to have faith, you can't get your mind compute to what they're saying because you're stuck in a rut and you like staying there.
Right.
Let me tell you a little bit what happened to me last week. People in my church know I have a challenge that I'm still overcoming and conquering
Right. Come on with the words.
That's right.
I love it. I love it.
with math.
Yeah. That's all right. I got you.
It's a demon. And I am coming with these Doc Martens to stop this demon.
Come on now. Come on.
But I got bigger things to do than worry about that little demon right now. So sometimes you can have a situation and you just like, you know what, I ain't got time to deal with you right now. I got bigger things to deal with right now.
Right.
Come on.
So Monday I made a decision to take a different pathway with my degree. So I said I'm about to withdraw from math, and I'm about to take on other 2 classes that's still in my pathway of where I need to go for my career. You know, and I was talking to Bishop about, he was like, listen, don't sweat. I said, I ain't sweating. I'm just telling you what I'm doing to give wisdom and just to make sure we're on the same accord of what I'm doing. I said, listen, I'm about to go a different pathway. It's going to be a certificate, which is still in my degree. I can always come back to my math. He was like, listen, you doing it. You've conquered. You got your high school diploma. Now you're in college. You're doing it. So don't sweat the small stuff. That's what he was saying. So I changed my path. I withdrew so it don't be in my record, and I picked up 2 other classes. And what's so funny about these 2 other classes, like the man, I'm in speech, and I'm telling you, when I mean that, we've had 2 speeches that we had to do. The class just started on Tuesdays. And I'm telling you, I said, God, you're going to have to work this out for me. However, and I'm telling you, I've been using my biblical principles in this speech class. And I'm just like, wow, it's so powerful. And I got 2 people that's in it that are lesbians. And I'm telling you, and every chance that I get up there, I'm saying something about God. Because they can't stop me from, I'm not teaching them. I'm giving my presentation. And I'm using what God has given me for the body of Christ in the natural.
Right.
To the point that it's confounding my professor. I didn't tell him who I was. I'm acting like just a plain Jane. But my words are powerful. Your words are powerful. And the reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Either you're going to make a decision to do right or you not.
Yeah.
my life, I've got off of negativity.
Yes.
And a lot of y'all are still on Facebook, Instagram, Snap, and they're your little gods. Because, and I was guilty of that. I would pick, first thing rolling up off the bed, go so on Facebook. And it become my God. So that's why I'm not telling you nothing that I ain't experienced.
Right.
But I should be rolling up off the bed, giving God praise and communicating with Him. But my focus was off because I was still on the construction.
Wow. Come on.
I had some restriction. Facebook had a hold on me. And I bless God that I am free, that it don't have a hold on me. I can take authority over a situation, which you can take authority over a situation and speak these things into existence. But those things come through a relationship with God, worshiping God, getting to know who He is and what His Word says.
Yes, that's it.
Amen?
Amen.
Is He God that allows you to worship freely? Yes.
Yes.
So again, why do you limit Him?
That's good.
So we when John 4:21 it said, Jesus said unto her, the woman, believe me, the hour have come that when you shall neither is in the mountain nor yet the Jerusalem worship the Father. Go down to 24. And 24 says, God is spirit, and they that worship Him shall worship Him in spirit and truth. So some of you all ain't worship Him in spirit and truth. You worship Him in flesh and in lies.
Right.
You say, Pastor, how you gonna say I worship Him in flesh and lies? Because first of all, the Bible says judge the fruit of a thing. And you will be seeing the fruit of your life if you worship Him in spirit and in truth. Because first of all, the truth will set you free. However you want to look at it, you're gonna be free.
Right.
And if you're doing this in spirit, you're gonna allow God to be able to minister to you. He gonna minister to you if you can hear Him audibly. He gonna minister to you through them. He gonna minister to them through the Word. He's gonna minister to. That's the Spirit. But a lot of us are not hearing the Spirit of God.
Right.
I told my church two Sundays ago that I love the place that I'm in now, that I can hear the Spirit of God like never before. It's just like my shirt that says, find your voice.
Come on.
And if you see it's a bullhorn, this is what I'm doing right now because I'm hearing God. I'm speaking like so loud that anybody can hear me.
Yes.
By using my voice.
Yes.
What that? Let me have that t-shirt. I gotta give it to my mother. Come on, mother, this is for you. So, in this time in your life, you gotta be able to use your voice to be able to worship God.
Yes.
Some of us are too quiet.
That's right.
Some of us ain't doing nothing in ministry.
Right.
You too quiet.
Yes. Oh yes. I hear it. Come on. Yes, that's good. That's good.
They're doing a lot, and I know they're doing a lot because we doing a lot.
Right.
So what is on the head is on the body. Right. So we connected. So we doing a lot of ministry. I know they doing a lot of ministry.
Right.
But we got to be able to get some more laborers in here.
Yes.
Who you witnessing to?
Amen.
Who you using your service to serve today?
Right.
Right.
You got to be able to bring some people in the body of Christ because they gonna need a break.
Amen. Amen.
They gonna need a vacation.
Yes. Amen.
So I just believe, God, that what you guys have collected for this pastoral appreciation is giving them what they need in a break.
Yes. Yes.
Paying some bills off.
Yes.
Being
Yes.
debt free.
Yes.
Yes. Come on.
That an apostle, if he decide to come off his job, he can come off his job.
Most definitely. Yes. Yes. We receive it.
But in order for him to do that, we have to be consistent. Let me say
Right.
consistent.
Consistent.
Consistent
Consistent.
tithers.
Yes.
Come on.
Say that again.
So if you're under construction, that means that you need to stop robbing God. Because our finances are jacked up because we're robbing God.
Wow. Yes, it is.
But if we're in our worship with God, we wouldn't want to do that. Because we want to worship God what? In spirit and truth. So tell me this, how can you have a gun on one end and the Bible on another end, and you think that goes together? It don't. But a lot of us are limiting our mindset. We're afraid of our bills. We're afraid that our car's going to get taken. We're afraid we're going to get put out. We're afraid that our light's going to get cut off. We're afraid our gas going to get cut off. We're afraid our water's going to get cut off. We're afraid of the natural, but we're not afraid of the Almighty God. There is something wrong with the body.
Yes.
We got to get balance in here. But it comes through worship. It comes through relationship.
Yes. Amen. Amen. Come on, Pastor. Good.
And I'm telling you, if you can build this relationship with God, your relationship with them will be much better.
Yes.
You will be a son instead of a slave.
Right. Yeah. Come on. It's good.
There's a lot of slave in the body of Christ because I have to do this. I got and I know some of you to be like, oh, why we gotta be at church an hour early? Why not?
Right.
Because what you do in the spirit will build up in the natural, and what you do for God will remain in you.
Right.
It's just like I cannot stand being late. It throws my whole everything off. It throws. I didn't have to be here. I was here by 11:20. Listen, service don't start at 12 o'clock. Because I formed the habit of being in church early, it just becomes me. Even when I go to school, I'm in church. I'm in school early. But when you're rushing, how many of y'all be all thrown off when you're rushing? When you feel like I'm about to be late. Listen, I'm telling you, I will leave whoever. Because I'll tell you, if I don't leave you and I gotta wait for you, like Christian, I know I get on her nerves, but she already knows. So I tell her, listen, I'm leaving 10 minutes before I say I'm gonna leave, because it gives me a little wiggle time for her. I'm ready. Because otherwise, I don't want to be thrown off in the spirit by me being late.
Right.
You know, because I'm fussing and I'm like, you making me late, blah, blah, blah. I told you to be there, blah, blah, blah. I'm just going off. So you got to practice some things in your life so things can happen in your life. You got to be able to, do these things. Otherwise than that, you're going to be stuck where you are. Worship comes with a relationship.
Yes.
And I'm going to keep saying that. It comes with a relationship. So let's go to, where I want to go. Let's go to Isaiah 29:13. Isaiah 29:13. I'm going to read from a different version. The Lord said, these people come near to me with their mouth and honor me with their lips.
Wow. Yes.
But their heart are far from me. Their worship of me is based on a merely human rules that have been taught to them.
Wow.
So sometimes when you see people and they worshiping, they've been taught this.
Yes. Come on, Pastor.
They've been taught, hey, you got to raise your hands. You got to get on your knees. You got to twist around. They've been taught this, but their heart ain't in it.
Right.
I don't want to be in a relationship and your heart ain't with me.
Right.
God don't want no relationship and your heart ain't with him.
Right.
But a lot of our hearts are not with God. Because if a lot of our hearts are with God, we wouldn't be doing what we do. We wouldn't be cussing. We wouldn't be lying. Like I said, we wouldn't be lying. 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 Lying.
Amen.
Lying. Facebook, lying. Because see, we can point out homosexuality.
You better say it.
Because we can see it.
Yeah.
But a liar, we ain't pointing that out.
Come on.
We ain't pointing out backbiting. We ain't pointing out unforgiveness.
Right.
But we can point out everything
Yeah.
that we see.
Yes.
What was that old saying? The finger that you pointed got 3 more pointing back at you.
Right.
And I like the fingers. I want all the fingers pointing back at me. Because I want to be right. I want to be right when I worship God. I want to be right. I don't want to worship God with nothing in my heart.
Right. Come on.
And I think about some of the things that we went through in life, and I never stopped trusting God.
Right.
But then I asked God, like, okay, God, how long must I go through this? How long must they keep slapping me in my face and thinking like, oh, it's okay, I slapped you. Then turn the other cheek. I have the other cheeks outside my backside.
Right.
And I don't think they want me to turn those to them. But I'm just saying, I say, God, listen, God, I asked you to deal with my adversaries.
Yes.
But I'm going to worship you regardless. Even whatever I got to go through, I'm going to worship you. Because one thing I realized in the midst of every trial and tribulation I go through, I can't speak about you, but every trial and tribulation that I go through, there's a test for me. There's something I need to do. Whatever I got to do, I ain't blaming you, God. A lot of us, we want to blame God. Why are you blaming God for what you go through?
Right.
How are you blaming God because you got sugar diabetes and you won't stop eating right?
Right.
See, I'm telling you, the enemy got us fooled because our heart ain't right, our mind ain't right, and we ain't really hearing God like we need to be hearing God. See, as I told my people, we need our eye drops because we ain't seeing clearly, we ain't hearing clearly. But we in church all the time.
Right.
And you looking the same way you've been looking 2 years ago.
Yeah.
When I go to D.C., when I see people that I used to go to school with, I'm thinking like, God, how you in the same place we was in when we was in high school? That mindset, just everything. How can you stay in that same place? Because we don't have a life of worship. We don't have a life with God, and our heart is not right before God.
That's it. Yes, ma'am.
And I said, God, I ain't gonna be like I was like this last year. Every year I'm gonna change. I'm elevating from grace to grace and mercy to mercy. And I'm gonna hold my course. I'm gonna stand like a tree. I ain't gonna be moved. I ain't gonna waver in doubt. I'm gonna trust you. Because one thing I realize about God, I can't speak about your life, but my life, one thing about God, he ain't never left me nor forsake me. I'm the one that messed up. With my stinking thinking, with my attitude, I'm the one that messed up. I got to blame me because I'm under construction.
Amen.
And I ain't got a problem confessing where I am. Because guess what? If I can confess my fault, you ain't got nothing to say. Because people want to dig up your past. Go for it. Dig it up. Because there ain't nothing I ain't never said over this pulpit. That's how the enemy have us so stupid. We so dumb because you want to bring up some past. So what? Think about your past. I know how I used to be. I know how I still am. Because God is still perfecting me. I am perfect in him. But Rosina, on the other hand, whole different ballgame.
Yes.
Listen,
Period.
how you see me here now? Listen, my flesh is like that. And the weight of these boots is to keep me rooted. The weight of these boots is to keep me steadfast and unmovable, trusting God, not letting things get me thrown off, because I got a life of worship. I don't have a problem with my boots getting all scarred up. I don't have a problem just magnifying God and saying, God, you're so worthy, you're so awesome, you're a mighty God, you're a loving God. And God, I praise you in this sanctuary. And God, I worship you because you are who you are. You are God of God, and you're my Lord, and you're my Savior. I ain't got a problem doing it. I don't care about a Gucci belt. I don't care about no dog march. I don't care about no true religion. I only care about God. That's all I care about. I don't care if my husband was acting a fool. That's on you, boo. But my relationship with God is my relationship with God, and I refuse to allow anything to come in my space to throw me off. It's my response. It's my responsibility.
Yes, come on, Pastor.
And we got to get to that place that no matter what you go through,
Amen.
listen, get that relationship with God. Get to worshiping God. Get to knowing God. Stop being in the place you are. Listen, we're going to do an altar call because we're going to renew our worship. We're going to get our life right with God. And I'm going to tell you, don't do it now. I ain't doing it right now. Don't do it now. But if you know you wasn't right with your pastors, you set up a meeting and you get your life right with God and get your life right with your pastors, because they have your answers. They have everything that you need. Listen, you think you're doing it to them. You know,
Come on. Talk to us.
listen, if it wasn't that I was called by God, I wouldn't be a pastor. Y'all don't know our job. Y'all don't know what we go through dealing with y'all. Some of y'all got little kids and you tired of them. Well, y'all big kids and we tired of y'all. They
Telling the truth. Telling the truth, Pastor. Telling the truth.
And we want to give up. We want to say we didn't come to church. But because our relationship with God and our worship, we know what we bound by and we know what we signed up for. But you got to get to a place that you stop making our job so hard.
Teach them.
The way of a transgressor is hard, but you want us to pray for you. But you don't want to listen. But you want us to pray for you. I'm in a time and season in my life and I haven't done a lot of counseling in a long time. I don't know about y'all, but I haven't. Because my answer to you is this. What is God saying?
Right.
Because I'm only going to say what God said. Because I'm going to tell you, early in years, you will give your opinion to people, and let me tell you, they will throw that same opinion back in your face and blame you why their life ain't the way it needs to be. You can have people that are fornicating, are in relationships, and I've ministered to them, and I'm telling you, and some of them have, like, y'all made us get married. So I said, okay. I'm going to do what God said. You know, I can only, suggest certain things, but at the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your life. Because I'm not going to fight you for you to live your life the right way. I can only give you the word, deliver the word. It's your choice. Either you're going to read the word, because girl, God's word has not changed. So therefore, anything that I say is the same thing that's in the word. So why you come to me, I'm not going to say nothing different. And leave And I'm gonna tell y'all, some of these suckers gonna come up to you and say, you know, I talked to Pastor and I talked to Prophet and I was telling her about blah, 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 blah. And she said, blah, 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 blah. What you think? You better call them out.
Exactly.
You better call them wolves out and be like, what? So if Prophet told you that, what you coming to me for? You think I'm gonna say something different? But some of these leaders, because they don't know who they are and they want to be in so control of people, gonna give them stuff that will mess these people's lives up because you cannot give an account for their lives. It wasn't for you. You just say what the pastor said. If he don't sanction it, then you better not sanction it. Under construction. But when you got some leaders that say, oh, you ain't gonna be bringing that junk to me about my pastors, what's the problem? Because I'm telling you, I had a lady that was in my house years ago and talked about my pastor's, her hair was short when she used to wear her hair out. And I said, hey, you at my house. Don't talk about my pastor. I said, because I'm gonna tell you right now. Without Jesus and his 12 disciples on me, I will punch in your face. And I told her that. And I meant that. I will punch you in your face. Because they have the word in my mouth of my life. Why am I going to let you talk about my life? But because we are thinking with Pastor, what? She said that. What? Why Prophet got blue hair? I mean, she supposed to be a first lady. I mean, she's in a girl life. She ain't young. Shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. Period.
And I know I am all orthodox. I ain't got a robe on. I got boots on. I am all out the pocket with religion. I am delivered from religion. I'm in relationship with God. And when you have that relationship with God, you don't give a kitty what nobody think about you. I am delivered from the opinions of people because I have a life of worship. And I worship God with anything. He said, come as you are. God, you know how I was. You know I was rough underneath the edge. That's why God saved me when he saved me. Because God knew there is no way I'm going to have a skirt all the way down to my ankle. God knows there is no way I ain't going to be able to wear some makeup. And some nice lashes. Bye, Monty Shades. There's no way. Why do we gotta be all looking homely and broke down to be able to serve God? Oh, does that make you religious? Does that make you more spiritual? Heck no.
Heck no.
My cousin didn't even listen, I'm telling you. But religion will get you all jacked up, and that's why people don't have a life of worship. Because you think I should be doing it this way. You think I should be doing it that way. No. I'm led and led by God. And the Holy Spirit guide and lead me on what I need to do. I got to be able to reach baby girl. Baby girl ain't going to be able to understand me all in a robe, calling all up. I'm telling you, ordination, see them can tell. I be like, oh, gotta get yoked up to Jesus. I mean, I don't have a problem being in the order. But God, why do I always gotta be yoked up? But there's some order. So don't think I'm against order. I'm not against order. I will, listen, wear my collar and my robe. I will do what we need to do. I believe in being in order.
Come on.
Do I always get it right? No. Sometimes I want to be off and, God would get me together or Bishop would come back and get me back in order. I am a woman under authority. Don't have a problem with it.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Doesn't know who I am? Can I not use my voice? I can use my voice because I found my voice and I know who God has called me to be. I am an evangelist called by God. Here to do what God has called me to be. I'm here to set the captive free. I'm here to get the blind healed, delivered, and set free. to get that prostitute off the street. See, some of y'all might not have been on the street prostitute, but you've been prostituting in your house. But at least with the prostitute, they getting some money. You giving it up for free. Men and women. I ain't talking about just female. Your job prostitute. You working all these hours and no benefits. Because we on salary, so I'm going to work you like a Hebrew slave. Really? A life of worship. Do I have some worshipers in this house?